Desktop. Beast Wars. Grimlock. No, it doesn't quite fit.
Me Grimlock not in gay porn, me Grimlock straight.
You don't have to be gay to star in gay porn.
Me Grimlock gay for pay.
Me Grimlock no gay, but $20 is $20.
Too much energy.
Beast Wars!
Man, these things look like toys.
I don't even have a mouth, Megatron.
No!
I am transformed.
Sigma balls, Gary.
Maximal! Maximal! Does that mean transform?
Trying is better than nothing, much like this podcast.
Oh, no. Not that. Ah!
Greetings, chronophasic listeners. Welcome to episode 104 of Too Much Energon, the podcast where we comb through, blah, blah. I'm starting over.
The Comcast where we laser through pods and we talk beast about Energon. Yeah.
No, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just roll with it. This is Too Much Energon, the podcast where we talk about Beast Wars shit and talk shit about Beast Wars, coming to you live from a mysterious floating mountain somewhere hidden on planet Energon. I am Christopher Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm Jacked Cheetor NeoCal, your other host.
Been hitting, Cheetor's been hitting the gym in this, what we're going to be talking about today.
Hitting the gym and taking Energon supplements.
Yeehaw. How we doing, Cal?
Supplements.
Supplements, yeah. How we doing, Cal? How are things?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna start streaming weekly soon
Nice.
as part of a certain thing, certain RPG
Oh,
Twitch channel you may or may not know as Dork Tales.
I was going to ask. I was like, is it a Dork Tales thing?
It is. Yeah, Dragonlance specifically.
Dragonlance. What is Dragonlance?
Dragonlance is a ye old fantasy, kind of Hallmark fantasy book series. And
Hallmark, as in the card company?
yes. Yeah. It started with Dungeons and Dragons and Hallmark cards.
Yeah. Hallmark Christmas cards meets D&D.
And it's a fantasy series that kind of epitomized kind of like there's a dwarf in the party and there's like a halfling and the half-elf is the leader and there's an evil wizard and
There's a snake in my boot.
there's a snake in my boot and there's a dragon on my kern.
And there's this monkey on my back.
Yeah. No monkey, but we do have a monkey in today's episode of Too Much Energon.
Before we get to that, though, I got something I want to talk about on camera.
Uh-oh.
And show on camera. And
Is it
Smell?
Cheetor's girthy?
smell on camera?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Beast
screen.
Wars.
Aha.
Monopoly Beast Wars. Ooh, it's embossed.
Embossed. It's big bossed.
It's big bossed.
Yep, this is the Hasbro Beast Wars Monopoly game. This just came out this year, amazingly enough. And the artwork is very reminiscent of it's the same artwork as like the toys from like 1996 or the mutating card game that we played last year for the Too Much Energon holiday special, which I am here to announce, ladies and gentlemen, coming up in the month of December in a couple of weeks here, the holiday 2022 Too Much Energon holiday special. We're going to be playing another game. We're going to be playing that Monopoly game
That's
live
right.
on camera.
Yeah, that's right. The Deceptibucks are real, folks. What are the locations? Is it like on Cybertron? Or is
No,
it like around the galaxy?
It's Planet Energon.
Oh, it's Planet Energon specifically.
Yeah, I opened it up and had a look at the board, and it's things like like the rail, like the what is on the on normal Monopoly board, our railroads are the Axelon, the Dark Side, the Ark, the Nemesis. The alien biodome is like one of the pieces. The floating mountain, the flying island. It's all
Right.
stuff from the show, and like the game piece. There's a golden disc game piece. There's you collect stasis pods and energon cubes and energon crystals.
Okay. Okay. I dig it. I dig it.
And all the game pieces are season one iterations of the characters, and you get two, so you get the robot version and the beast, their beast mode version.
Is there transforming? I guess we'll
No,
find out. Oh,
not that I've seen, but I cracked it open the other night, and I started I started feeling like, just looking at some of the pieces and like looking at the little stasis pods and looking at the game board, I started getting like filled with just such like utter like excitement that I'm like, nope, I gotta put this back in the box and I'm gonna save it for on camera because
right.
like this shit's hype.
Wouldn't it? What I'm trying. I Today's one of those days, folks. We're just jumbling everything. Wouldn't it
Yeah,
have been
we
hype
both kind
as
of we both kind of had troubles kind of getting started today.
yeah, it's would it not have been hype if that shit had come out in 1997?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's weird, like now, all of a sudden.
Yeah. And I mean, I haven't gone into ye old Google and like looked. Like maybe there could have been like a 2000 or 1999 version, but the thing is,
I don't think there
they
is.
didn't churn things out like that. Like board games back then were a bigger investment, and if it didn't readily pay off, things like that didn't like really pop up. We take for granted now how many board games there are. How many
Yeah.
there's European and like Asian, North American like styles, and tons of companies of like board games and card games and all of it. But like I swear, when we were kids, it was like, sorry, Monopoly,
The game of life.
the game of life, which was just like shoots and ladders with some extra rules, right?
I enjoyed the game of life when I was a kid.
Yeah, the game of life. Sorry, Mousetrap,
Hungry,
right?
hungry hippos.
Hungry Hippos, right? And it was like limited, and if it didn't make like a lot of money and it wasn't geared towards kids or family, it wasn't being made. But now with mass production,
Yeah.
like churning every single monopoly out that they can even think of, right?
And indeed, we got Beast Wars Monopoly.
And indeed, it took this long, but we got Beast Wars Monopoly, right?
You met it's a little too obscure, but could you imagine if they made Reboot Monopoly?
I would buy that.
I'd buy it too.
Yeah, I'd buy that.
I'd buy that for $1.
Rebootopoly. Yeah. There's a Vancouver Islandopoly.
There's a Victoria Monopoly.
Disgusting. Oh, one of the railroads should be Darth Fiddler,
Right.
an iconic part of Victoria.
What are the first two like game pieces on the board right after Go? The purple ones, the ones that are like super cheap, whatever they are. One of
Oh, and
those
there's two. One of them should be
Pandora Avenue,
Pandora Avenue, and the other one should be, I don't know,
Johnson Street.
Pandora Avenue, Johnson Street. And then the next ones up from that would be like Market Square,
Yeah.
Chinatown. Yeah, Market
Government
Square,
Street.
Chinatown, Government. Yeah.
Uh,
And then the very
Boardwalk is just Oak Bay.
boardwalk is like Oak Bay. Park Place would be like James Bay.
Yeah.
All the places we will never live.
Yep.
Well, James Bay. No, James Bay is like the Orange Territories. Right? Yeah. Like you can, there's apartments there. But anyways,
Well, I can't even afford to live anywhere in Victoria right now. No.
anywhere in the country, perhaps.
can barely afford to live where I do now.
Have you even tried living in a van?
Do you know how much money I'm saving by living in a dumpster?
I mean, I don't have a job, but think of the money I'm saving.
I can piggyback off of this nightclub's Wi-Fi signal.
I know. It's hilarious, like seeing like homeless people using a phone, and I'm like, well, good. You stay connected.
Yeah.
Because like other than a lot of people when they're like done with their phone, right? Like could be like a 5-year-old phone or whatever, right? They just like toss it or give it like away or whatever.
I sell mine.
Or sell it, yeah. And that always was like perplexing to me. But then I was like, well, if they basically got it for free or for like $100 and that can connect them to like people they know in their world, right? Like connect them to the outside world or whatever. Like, other than the fact you got to like defend it, and charge it. There's the maintenance on it is like barely anything. Keep it on you, charge it at McDonald's.
Yeah, good to go.
Yeah, good to go.
Well, I guess
what a time to be alive.
I guess you got to maintain you got to maintain a data plan, unless you're just like connected to Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
all the time.
Connect to McDonald's Wi-Fi, man.
It's basically an iPod Touch at that point. Anyway, this is episode 104 of Too Much Energon, and this week we are talking about Beast Wars: The Gathering, issue 3, which came out in 2006. I don't have the Wikipedia article in front of me, so I don't know the exact date, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So in this issue, we start off with actually seeing some of our favorite Maximals
right out the gate. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Things are going to happen. Right?
So we got big time Gary himself, Optimal Optimus, in his
big time Gary
in his optimally optimal form.
Yeah, and we got some critters. We got some critters that are chronally shifted.
Yeah,
gazing upon his mighty girth. And talking about why they're invisible.
And Cheetor, I'll bring this up now. So one of the variant covers, and it's going to be the show art for the episode. And if you're watching the video version, it's the artwork like right behind me. So one of the variant covers features a very, very jacked Cheetor with using his tail weapon, pointing
tail
upward like a mighty phallus.
Yeah, Siege was laughing his ass, and he's like, "Holy cow! Did you see the jacked Cheetor?" And I'm like, "Jacked Cheetor? Did you see his giant fucking transmetal dick?"
Yeah, and I didn't even notice at first. I was just like, "Holy shit! He's got some fucking muscles on him. Like, look at those pecs and look at those biceps. Holy hell, sexy Cheetor here."
Yeah, sexy Cheetor, and just Rhinox like giving him some weird stare down in the background.
And Rhinox is kind of like hunched forward, so like I imagine he's like hunched forward, like jerking it.
Cheetor, what have you done?
Whatever it is, Cheetor, keep doing it. Keep doing it. All right, I'm almost there. Keep going.
I don't remember your tail being that long, but yeehaw.
But I ain't complaining, boy.
Fuck. Yeah, I made the joke that there must have been a gay porn like I'm sure there's a story for gay porn, right? Even probably lasts even less than there is for like straight porn.
Not the ones I watch.
No, you turn it on and it says the production company, and then boom,
it's
Brokeback
just like
Mountain, right?
Some of them like even just start like coming in hot, like with the action like already going,
already penetrating.
Yeah,
come on, I need some romance in my. Where's the mystery? Where's the intrigue? I don't employ performers. I employ actors.
I employ thespians.
thespians and lesbian thespians even. See, here's the director. It's like fucking clone Cheetor. I didn't make it in Broadway.
Oh, it's a Dino clone.
Dino clone, yeah.
No,
Raptor clone.
no, see here, fop doodles.
Whip out that fop doodle and fluff it for me. You're of no use to me on the scene, on the set, unless you can deliver me the powerful acting that I need.
The deep and the powerful and deep and penetrative performances required of such a role.
Put it in his butt.
I went to 3 semesters of film school for this, damn it.
And I passed 2 of them.
This is a serious production.
Just like Laser Comb production.
Just like our podcasts.
Serious productions here.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Big Time Gary and Sexy Cheetor and Trucker Rhinox. And we got Razorbeast and the Razorbeast and the Highlanders hanging out.
But they're invisible, sort of.
They're in
Ooh.
chronal phase. And
except that Optimal is like, I sense something. Do you feel it? And everyone's like, you're crazy.
And
you're just imagining things. I'm like, you think he's crazy now? Wait until Beast Machines.
And Rhinox is like, yeah, I feel it too, man. I think it was just a couple too many beers, you know?
I miss Scorponok and Pterosaur just as much as the next guy, but pour one out for them. Move on.
Yeah, he's like, listen here, Gary, you've been going through a lot of changes now, and I know some of it might be scary, and you're starting to feel things for girls, but well,
and you got 2 sparks in your chest, and you're full of hormones and vitamin soup.
That's just it's you're gonna calm down eventually there, good buddy. Just I know you went through this big growth spurt, but just hang in there, okay?
We'll buy you some clothes that fit.
I'll even give you your first beer.
The Cheetor's standing there, juicing up on fucking. He found there was a little bit of pterosaurs, Energon Mountain.
Yeah, he's like shooting up like liquid Energon.
Yeah, straight into the butt cheek.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
wherever it
that's the
is you
stuff.
inject supplements.
Supplements, yes.
It's your thigh, right? Yeah.
Maximal growth hormone.
Yeah, maximal growth hormone.
Anyway,
Cheetor, your background is like Cheetor, maximize. I don't know how we didn't make that joke until now. Anyways, they're Razor 30 to 50 Razor Beasts are infiltrating the Maximal base, and if you recall, in this part of the timeline,
they're in
this
Ark
is when they
Mountain.
had to abandon
Yeah.
the Exelon.
So we get an idea of exactly when in the show this is taking place. This is like early in season 3. So like Optimal had Gary had just become Optimal Optimus. Cheetor was still in his transmetal form, and so was Megatron. So this is like very like right at the beginning of season 3 of Beast Wars.
And got hair. And Ravage just like kamikazed his bird of prey into like the Axelon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decepticons forever.
Decepticons rule, Maximals drool.
So 30 to 50 feral Razorbeasts walk into Ark Mountain in chronal phase.
See, that would never have happened if the Maximals had AR-15s. And
people
apparently,
listening are like, what the fuck are these two even talking about?
or they
If
know
you-
exact.
Or they know exactly. If you want to find out, you can listen to the preamble for this episode on patreon.com/lasercomb. So when they get into Ark Mountain, something really fucking stupid happens here. So they're in chronal phase, and apparently that allows them to walk on lava.
So I was like, is this just the hardened part of the lava that it showed on the show, but it's at a weird angle? Because I was like, are they walking on lava?
They're straight up walking on lava here.
I'm walking on lava.
Whoa!
Yeah, they're walking on lava, and I guess that's what you can do when you're chronal phasing, or
Yeah, that
maybe
makes
it's hot.
no sense.
And here's something that surprised me. They interact with the Ark. Like they
Yeah.
hack into the Ark, and I'm like, they can affect the world?
Yeah,
What?
well, I mean, we've seen them use technology.
And I
before.
assumed it was like chronally shifted to their frequency.
Oh,
But then
yeah,
later on, when they jump Megatron, they can interact with them.
yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh, huh. Big gulps, huh?
Well, and the next thought that I have is, so they're like, oh, shouldn't we just take this shit from like the Maximal ship? And Razorbeast is like, yo, man, we gotta, they don't have what we need. We gotta go into the Ark and take from there. And I'm like, okay, so you're gonna steal technology and potentially change the future, like fuck up the timeline even further by taking technology from the Ark. This seems kind of
I never even caught that.
this seems kind of irresponsible to me.
You're right. They don't want to take from the Axelon because they're afraid of messing with the timeline. So they're taking it from the Ark, which is even more important.
Yep.
Hmm. Good catch.
Yeah, so
And they're like,
they
well, just rip that fucker out. There we go. They won't be missing this. And yeah, they just pull some mysterious thing that'll send a message to Cybertron. Yeah, that's what they're
Yeah.
after.
yeah.
But they have to make it short because it can only like blah blah blah, like 5 nanoclicks or something like that. Oh, in past issues they say clicks, but they've also said minutes and seconds. And
They
I'm
do
like,
that in the show too.
yeah, and it's like hold
Also cycles on top of
on.
that.
Cycles, yeah, and it's like they got a lot of different words for time. That was
How
one
many
of our early conversations back in.
How many
much
Saturday
Energon.
afternoons could there possibly be?
If possible, I'd like to get this mad science project done by Sunday afternoon.
It only takes one day, damn it.
One whole mega cycle. That's actually one of the things I think they didn't say. I don't think mega cycle is a thing. There's nano click, there's nanocycles, there's clicks, there's cycles.
Well, in the show, there's mega cycles, there's
There is
stellar
megacycles.
cycles, there's decacycles.
Right.
I think in the comic at one point they say decacycle.
Microcycles. That sounds like a tiny little Transformers brand.
Like a minicon.
Yeah. Or the President's Choice minicon.
Right.
Microcycles.
So Magmatron's cronies are out flying around, exploring, looking for the Maximals, I think. That's
Yeah.
what they're just like wandering out and about, and they get attacked by the mutants.
The mutants. It took me a while to realize what was even happening. And they're like, there's nothing like hunting. And one of them, they're all forgettable. I don't care. One's Transketo, they're a bunch of insects and flying shit.
One's insect. The ones that I recognize are the ones that I had as toys as a kid. So I recognize Insecticon. I recognize Buzzsaw here.
Oh, right. Buzzsaw's in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And big old crocodile comes out of the swamp and eats one.
Big old crocodile.
And they're like, oh, who is hunting who?
And then
they're,
initially
following a white owl, right?
yeah, and so I see this white owl, and then I'm like, what? So this white owl turns into Polar Claw, and then he's like, the mutants. This is not the place for Predacons or Maximals. It's the domain of the mutants. And I'm like, oh right, that's that like failed like subline of Beast Wars toys that I think they only released like 4 figures of, where they transformed from beast
One
to beast.
animal changed to another animal instead of to a robot.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I was confused. I thought I was going to ask you. It's like, am I wrong here, or is an owl about the size of a football changing into the biggest like land mammal, like carnivore, like on the planet?
One of the most dangerous killers in the animal kingdom, according to producer John Peters. I liked the little bit of a tangent, but Kevin Smith talked about this in his An Evening with Kevin Smith DVD. His experience writing a script for a Superman movie for producer John Peters, and John Peters was like obsessed with having a giant spider and polar bears, and he wanted polar bears up at the North Pole and have like Superman wrestling polar bears, and his idea was that because polar bears are one of the most dangerous killers in the animal kingdom. So that movie never got made, but a movie that did come out a year later was Wild Wild West, which was produced by John Peters, which had a giant spider at the end.
Technically, yes.
And Man of Steel, the Superman movie that did finally end up coming to be in 2013, which was also produced by John Peters. There is an establishing shot when Clark first goes to the North Pole where we see polar bears.
Son of a bitch, he did it.
I'm like that is a calculated choice right there. The fact that you're just focusing on these couple of polar bears. And the camera like hangs on them for like a few seconds.
It's to really drive home that he's in the North Pole.
Yeah.
South Pole? North Pole.
The North Pole, yeah.
South Pole is penguins, right?
I think penguins are in the North Pole too.
Yeah, but I think there's nothing much in the South Pole except... Are there?
Well, the South Pole is Antarctica, and the North Pole is basically just like massive chunks of ice.
Yeah, Antarctica is, I know it doesn't have like a lot of life, whereas the Arctic has like tons, right? Like it connects to tons of land masses that freeze over, right? Like it's connected to Canada, Russia, Greenland, through different little islands and stuff like that, right?
I think there's wildlife in Antarctica.
I don't think there's a lot. Are there bears? I sound so stupid. I swear there's not. On do polar bears live in the Arctic but not Antarctica? You'll find penguins, seals, whales, and all kinds of seabirds, but no bears.
In Antarctica?
Yeah, there's like penguins, seals, birds.
Yeah, that's about what I figured. Yeah,
it's pretty desolate in terms of life compared to the Arctic.
Well, I mean, that's probably a good thing, because when they find the thing monster frozen in the ice and decide to thaw it out, like that's less things for it to assume the form of.
Yeah, and the more that the ice caps melt, the more of Atlantis will be revealed.
Oh.
Somewhere down there. Ooh. Part of the laser comb dimension universe.
No. We all know that Atlantis is situated under the ocean on a planet in the Pegasus galaxy.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even on Earth.
Yeah.
It's crazy to even think that.
It flew away millions of years ago.
It didn't sink. It just flew away.
Yeah, they activated the star drive and flew to the Pegasus galaxy to escape the to escape the Ori.
Yeah, fuck them. Can you tell we've watched some Stargate here and Laser different podcast, but we've watched a Stargate or 3.
I've watched many a Stargate.
All the Stargates, perhaps even.
I've actually been going through SG-1 again lately.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
show's still a lot of fun.
Yeah, so an owl becomes a bear. And my whole point was that how big are polar bears? 450 kilograms. I mean, I knew it was the biggest bear, but Jesus Christ.
It's like 1,000 pounds.
Nah, they're 770-ish to about 1,500-ish pounds.
Wow. So
this-
maybe they could stand a chance wrestling Superman.
If anybody does, it's polar bears. No wonder he would train. The deadliest prey.
Maybe
so
John
this,
Peters was onto something with his whole fighting polar bears
how
thing.
much does an Arctic owl weigh?
This is some legitimate journalism right here.
Barn owls about snowy owls about 2 kilograms.
Okay, so it's close, but not quite.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be like throwing a cat at someone and it turning into like a fucking house.
or like
Jacked Cheetor.
or like a mouse like transforming into a person.
Yeah. Or like Megatron transforming into a gun.
Yeah.
I always wonder, does he weigh the same? Like, is he still like 2 tons? Can't be, right?
And Starscream is like, it's a good thing I fire him with my fapping arm.
Let me tell you. It's a good thing. It's a good thing I shoot Lord Megatron with my fapping arm.
Lord Megatron.
Please let me fire you. Just once. Fuck. So yeah, that's the thing. I was gonna make a joke about like the size difference between the two, but that's always been a thing in Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soundwave is like one of the biggest fucking Transformers in the Decepticons, and dude can change into a human-sized brain box that plays music.
Cassette deck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If he can transform and disguise himself amongst the humans, then I'm fine with the snowy owl transforming into.
Yeah, there's literally like an episode of G1 where Soundwave goes into cassette deck mode and like Spike, like a teenager, Spike picks him up because he's like the size. Yeah, his mass has shifted like so small that he is small enough that like a teenage human can pick him up.
And then the weight, yeah, the mass actually shifts.
Yeah.
Which makes you wonder, could you like quickly like trap Soundwave in a safe when he's in his like deck player mode and like lock the safe and he wouldn't be able to transform because there's not enough room?
Or he tries to transform and ends up like crushing himself to death.
Or crushing, yeah. I'm just wondering how the science of their mass works. But that's like Star Trek shit. Don't ask questions, just beam me up, Scotty.
Well, Star Trek does try to answer the questions. It's just
the science to how they do it is less important than the science to how the machines work is less important than the science of how it works.
Yeah. They give you like pseudo like sciencey sounding explanations for things. Yeah.
Just don't explain how the machinery actually works.
Yeah. But whatever the problem is, we will recalibrate the deflector dish.
And indeed, they recalibrate the deflector dish in Beast Wars: The Gathering because Magmatron and the boys got a secret plan.
Yeah, they Magmatron and company find a downed stasis pod, and he's like, yes, excellent. Put put Ravage's spark in there, and they're like, boss,
Just shove it in.
but they're like, boss, is this a good idea? And he's like, why, yes, why wouldn't it be?
And they're like,
well,
is this even ethical? And it's like, I've done one war crime. What's two more?
I mean, the dude calls himself Tripredicus Agent. How do we know he's going to be on our side? Bro, just trust me, okay?
Source, trust me, bro. And so they do, and Ravage pops out.
Yeah, Ravage pops out, and
I'm like, what happened to the spark? Is the other dude just dead?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Just chuck that soul back to the big
Scoop it
transformer in the
out
sky.
and dust, shine it off, and throw long.
Good job, little buddy. You died before you were born or something. Yeehaw. And then Rhinox shows up and he's like, wait, you're not allowed to do that.
Wait, abortion's illegal, damn it.
I mean, is that what's going on here? Rhinox is like, stop right there, criminal scum.
Cheetor, what have you done?
Wait, you're not Cheetor. You're also not Pterosaur. You're the Loch Ness Monster. I knew it.
I knew you was real.
I knew you was real. Just like Bigfoot. Oh.
Is he around here? Oh, that's him over there. Why the fuck is he turning into an owl?
Holy shit. It's the Mothman.
Where's
what
the
are some
Jersey
other...
Devil? Is he here
There
too?
we go. I was like, what are some other American fucking cryptids we got? Jersey Devil. Oh. Swamp Ape.
What about Chupacabra?
Chupacabra, I swear.
Chupa thingy. How about that?
It's just that little... It's just Razorbeast running by in Chronolf. The idea that Rhinox is like a conservative, like beer drinking, like Tro-Pruck rally, like conspiracy theorist isn't even that far fetched if you've watched Beast Machines. I do my own research.
Rat Trap, bring the camera.
Will it work? I don't know. I'm just jerry rigging this fucker together. You guys ask a lot out of me.
Damn it, man! You forgot to bring the film. This is my one chance at making millions and proving everyone that I wasn't crazy. Maybe my wife will come back to me.
Oh, he just turned into a sad boomer. Can you tell we're not too enthralled by the comic story here?
No.
Bada bing, bada boom, Ravage is back. No big fucking deal. And for some reason, they decide to make Ravage in charge.
Yep.
And they listen to him. And one of them is all like, oh, like, this is what I signed up for. And I'm like, you didn't sign up. You were just activated.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes ago. Well, I think that was Insecticon or someone.
Yeah, or like Transketo or something. Doesn't matter. They're all
doesn't matter.
They have no personalities to them, so they're all kind of interchangeable.
They're all just like kill, and then one of them gets eaten by a crocodile.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the resolution to that is that they're like, this is our swamp. Leave us alone. And they're like, okay, we didn't find any Maximals here. Bye. And I'm like, so that didn't impact the plot whatsoever. And why fucking show it to us?
And Owlbear is just like, yeah, that's right. You better run.
Let that be a lesson to you. Hoo hoo.
Flies away.
That's the ultimate life form on this planet. Is owl polar claw.
Yeah.
You can fly. You fly perfectly silent. Owls are like perfectly silent when they fly, by the way.
Oh.
Particularly, I think it's like barn owls or snowy owls.
Mm.
They've evolved to be extremely quiet because they're attacking things in the night, I guess.
Mm.
It was an interesting story about that. Friend was walked through a graveyard after a night shift, and got like attacked, and his hoodie like ripped off of him, and the back of his head was bloody, and he turned around to like fight someone, right? And nobody was there in a graveyard. He took out his phone to use the flashlight to look for his toque, and it's gone. And he touches the back of his head, and he's bloodied. And he's like saying hello. There's no twigs snapping. There's no deer. Nothing.
All of a sudden, you just see like two glowing eyes.
Fucking Mothman, right? And then eventually he saw in the paper that there's been an owl attacking people in the evenings and night for some reason. Nest nearby, or like an asshole owl. I don't know, right? And he was like, oh my God, my toque wasn't stolen and I wasn't attacked by a ghost. And he'd been telling people that story for like months. And then he saw in the newspaper, it's like, oh, owl's been like attacking people, like particularly with hats and like toques and stuff, and like flying off with them. I'm like, man, that guy's got the most like lit nest. Right? Like, it's full of baseball caps and scarves and toques. He's surviving the winter.
Your buddy should have just like thrown the newspaper to the ground and been like, fake news, it was a ghost.
Fuck you, it was a ghost. But think of how actually like scared you'd be in that moment.
Oh, I'd be terrified.
No sound, nothing. You just felt like somebody like punched you in the back of the head, like with something sharp, or hit you with a baseball bat or something, right? And you turn around and nothing. Super quiet.
I would straight up be like, this is some Blair Witch shit.
I would probably. Here's the thing. I'm a tough guy. I'd probably run out.
I would run.
Of the graveyard. And it was a little bit snowy, and there were no footsteps except his. That's the part that like freaked him out. And it was kind of like the crunchy snow where it's rained and melted a little bit, so you'd hear like someone walking in it.
Right.
Yeah, he was like super shook. And then when he like read that an owl's been like attacking people and taking like the hats off of, he's like, oh, thank God I wasn't attacked by a Blair Witch.
I would have just stuck with the ghost story.
Right? But no, he ended
up
being like,
it would be a fun thing to tell people at like Halloween parties.
But it makes sense that this is part of our laser comb cinematic paranormal universe. But like in hindsight, oh, okay, of course it's kind of like an owl. They don't make any sound when they fly, right? They have claws like an eagle, and so it was probably trying to scare him off, and it got the hat caught in his toque and his claws, because it's trying to attack him and scare him away from his nest or whatever, right? But like in the moment, if you don't know that owls are perfectly silent, right? And you don't hear it flapping, you feel like somebody just hit you in the back of the head, and then you're like, toque's gone and everything. Your first instinct isn't, oh, must have been an owl.
I was on years ago with a friend of mine. I was on Newcastle Island, a little island in Nanaimo's harbor. Me and a friend were like walking around, like we were kind of drunk, but we were walking around like late at night. We actually had an owl following us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we would hear him rustle through the trees, and then land on like a branch and like be looking down at us. And he was following us around for quite a while. Didn't attack us.
And he'd like go from like tree to tree, wait.
Yeah.
Owls are interesting. They either completely ignore your presence, or like are completely fascinated with you. They're planning something. They're smart. They're as smart as they look, I swear. They're planning something. The mass toque. The mass toque exchange. Okay, so most of the people watching this aren't Canadian. Yeah. A toque is what we call a knitted a wool cap, or a beanie. Yeah. It's what you pull over your head and ears when you're going out for a cold one, going for a rip.
Well, speaking of being out for a rip, so Magmatron is like, okay, now that we got Ravage, we need to. The Tripredacus Council are going to be suspicious. Yes, unless we complete our mission of securing Megatron. Hoo-hoo!
And they're like, right, that's what we were sent here to do.
That's what we're here for, right? And I'm like, what's the big deal? Like, you plan on just marching back to Cybertron with your army newly formed, like, beast.
What's it going to
army of
matter if
beasts.
you have Megatron or not?
Yeah. Like, you're
Like,
planning on just
you're losing. Also, another one, they want to go back to Cybertron with their army, right?
Right.
With their, like, what, 20 new Decepticons?
I don't know how he thinks
or
he's going
sorry.
to. There's like maybe like 10 of them.
Or
I don't know.
But here's the thing. He also is ordering them to go and hunt the Maximals.
Yeah.
Why not just leave?
Yeah.
You'd have more people. Like, they just lost somebody to Crocodile.
Yeah.
Crocodillo. OG Megatron.
Yeah. Yeah.
OG Megatron was an alligator or a crocodile.
Yeah, I have the toy. He came in a 2-pack with the original Optimus Primal, which was a bat.
Mm-hmm. Which is also Nyx. Yeah.
Yeah, that toy served as the inspiration for the character of Nyx in the 2021 IDW Beast Wars comic.
Which
our favorite
we will
Beast Wars
finish.
comic. Which we will finish eventually.
And so we're on session 3 of The Gathering. And I'm like, okay,
Gathering,
so
McLeod.
you came here to get more I was gonna said Decepticons, more Predacons, right? Steal them from the maximal stasis pods.
Yep.
Just leave. The more of the rogue Maximals and Razorbeast you hunt, the more men you lose, the more troops you lose. And if you try to go and grab Megatron, so it's like, why are you trying to save face when you're trying a coup?
Yeah, when like as soon as you get back, you're just gonna like overthrow the Tripredacus Council anyway. So what does it matter if you go back there without Megatron? What, they're gonna figure out like 5 seconds ahead of time that, oh, he's up to something. He doesn't have Megatron.
That's
he must
weird.
be...
He doesn't have Megatron. Just enough time to shoot you. Oh, I have him right here behind me in the bang. But like, I'm okay. We review Beast Wars shit. There's a lot of plot holes in it. Can you guys try? Like, we're fine with. We ignored so many tiny plot holes in War for Cybertron. Right? Like insignificant ones that it's like, okay, well, whatever. Moving on, right? But like
every issue of this comic now has had like characters like just making baffling choices.
And like this one's like the weirdest. And it's like, oh, go out, fan out, find Razorbeast, kill his Maximals, kill Razorbeast, go and get Megatron, and we'll be back in the, what's that fucking Shaun of the Dead meme? And we'll meet back at the
at the Winchester and have a pint and wait for this whole thing to blow over.
Yeah. And to further illustrate that frustration with this, they activate a chronal shift so they can teleport back to Cybertron, but it's on a timer that can't be reversed or turned off. So everyone that's not back in time is going to be left on planet Energon. And it's like, why aren't you more organized, Magmatron? So you have half of the Predacons hunting for Razorbeast and his like ragtag group of new Maximals.
Yep.
And the other half with Ravage on a secret mission.
Yep.
And like 2 dudes with him. And then you put a timer to get back? Wouldn't it be better to gather all your men and then act?
It's just a lazy way to try and create like
the tension, drama,
to build tension. Yeah, this is
not a very well it, man.
This is not a very well written comic book.
It's like it wants me to believe that he is very smart. But then like, can you do smart stuff? Anyways, so him and 2 of his boys are like, come on, we have to go shank Megatron. Oh, we have to go shank Megatron. Yes. And they literally get like little like purple like fucking Energon daggers. It's fucking hilarious. They go to like prison shank Megatron, and this is when you find out they can interact with.
They seemingly can change their like their like chronal phase at will.
And they can interact with them. They're not just like wisps. And they can enter the timeline of the Predacons and Maximals. Shank Megatron. They literally do that. They've got like little like purple daggers and they like shiv prison shank him and knock him out. And then they put something on him, like a little bullshit chronal shifter device, whatever.
Yeah.
And they turn it on, and Megatron and the Magmatron and the others like chronal shift back. And they did this all like 20 feet away from Inferno, apparently. Because he like literally turns around and he's like, my queen?
Royalty?
Royalty, where are you?
Yeah. So yeah, they do that. We get this like kind of throwaway scene where we have like Ramulus and Wolfang like basically just being antsy about hanging out at a cave instead of doing things.
Right, I forgot about that. I'm like, hey, cool, I love these two.
Yeah, I love Wolfang.
And they're just hanging out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, I don't like waiting here. What if the Predacons find out how we get here? And on the next page, it's like, and then we found a way to find the Maximals in a cave. And there's so many different locations. It's like now on the west end, now on the east end. I'm like, I don't know is Ravage going to find Ramulus?
I will say, Wolfang looks really cool.
He looks fucking sick. Both of them do.
Like
those are my favorites, and they're not even part of the fucking story.
Like I like the look of his neck. His neck's got that kind of like RoboCop look to it.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
It's the great work by the artist here.
Oh, that's the thing. The art of these is fantastic.
So to wrap the comic up, there's
a big energy signature coming.
Yeah. So Magmatron and his group are at this like teleporter device, and Megatron is just like sprawled out, like laying down, like he like passed out drunk or something.
So I guess these purple energy shivs, if you stab them into your neck, it knocks you out. Sure.
Yeah. But it's just like the way he's just like sprawled out on it.
Yeah.
Just cracked.
Starfishing right on top of this like mini Stargate, which by the way, he's way bigger than.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so they're all supposed to.
I was gonna say, how the fuck are they all gonna fit on there? Is this like this is gonna be like the scene in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Where like all of them.
Somehow there's 8 people inside of one phone booth.
Yeah, they're just like, whoa!
Sticking out the sides. Oh, right, because it ends up being turned sideways in Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
and they end up like riding in it like a canoe. Yeah.
Oh, fuck! I brought that movie up a couple of times recently because I just watched it not too long ago. Rewatched it not too long ago. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, me too. When we have that's on our list of commentary. That's
too much commentary.
Too much brain fog.
So the Magmatron and the Predacons are at Rufus's phone booth, and they're like, he's like, one of them is like, Lord Magmatron, we got a massive energy signature coming.
And a dude in a trench coat pops up and he's like, Ziggy says you can't phase back until you meet Grimlock.
Yeah, indeed, it's Grimlock. And he's like, me, Grimlock.
And they're like, who are you? You are not Megatron. No, me, Grimlock.
Which,
me heard you casting for movie. Me, Grimlock, no gay, but 20 Deceptibucks is 20 Deceptibucks. I've been waiting all episode to make that joke, folks.
It's funny, though, because they're depicting Grimlock here as, like, a big white T-Rex who's kind of furry for some reason. Like, he looks like he's covered in fur.
Well, I'm a fan of dinosaurs having feathers.
But what I was going to say is odd is because and indeed, like G1 Grimlock was a T-Rex, but there was a Grimlock toy in Beast Wars that was white. He was a Velociraptor. He was a redeco of Dinobot. And
Oh.
indeed, in War for Cybertron Kingdom, the toy line, they came out with a newer version of Grimlock. And indeed, it's a redeco of Kingdom Dinobot.
Oh. Well, there
So
you
they-
go.
So they got him as a big white T-Rex here, but he's actually a little white,
He's a pale
realistic
T-Rex looking dude with
realistic
Well-
Velociraptor.
he's kind of a T-Rex, except if you look at his feet, he's got like Velociraptor huge talons.
Mm.
Do the dinosaurs have large talons? Little Napoleon Dynamite line. So yeah, he's kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
He's a dinosaur.
he's a big old dinosaurus.
And and I'm like, why is Grim? And it's supposed to be like suspenseful, like, oh geez, Grimlock's here. But I'm like, why the fuck is he here? What what story are you guys telling? Just stop, please. What is he gonna change into an eagle? I don't know, man. I love Grimlock, right? I'm interested to see what the last issue is, but it's like I kind of want to see them all pile into the phone booth and try to. Oh, you know what? Let's put aside our differences, Razorbeast. Come, join us. Jump on the teleporter, and it's just this like big like cheerleader like tower on top of like Megatron's fucking body. And then last minute when they're counting it down because they're trying to chrono shift back to fucking Cybertron, he wakes up and he's like, get off me, and the whole thing goes whoa, and like topples to the side, and nobody goes back home.
Megatron, don't forget to wind your watch.
Don't forget to wind your watch. Nobody tells me what to wind to.
We,
Scorponok, take a note. Oh, right, you're dead. Good help is so hard to find.
well, that was issue 3 of Beast Wars: The Gathering. Here on Too Much Energon, we rate, right now we're rating comics on the Too Much Energon scale, which ranges from not enough Energon to a sufficient amount of Energon to too much Energon. It's basically bad, okay, good. Cal, what are you rating this issue?
Not enough Energon. Like a low amount of not enough Energon. When my favorite part is just the art, a single frame art piece of Ramulus.
Yeah.
Like nothing happens where I'm like, oh yeah. It's just like Ramulus is here. He looks cool. We spent 5 minutes talking about how cool they look.
Wolfang looks cool. Like looks
they're
really
buddies.
nice.
That's cool. Oh hey,
Yeah.
it's Grimlock. Kind of looks like the Dinobot redeco, I guess, or not.
We
Well, bye. Oh, there's a big crocodile. I think
we get to see Optimal Optimus, and
we get to see him go. Something's weird,
and we get
and
to
then
see
nothing
Buff
comes of
Cheetor.
that. Yeah, we get to
Sexy
see Buff-
Cheetor.
Stupid sexy Cheetor.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that. Not enough Energon. There's too many stupid things in this comic.
Also, too
Walking
many
on
things are
lava.
happening.
Yeah,
I'm
so
fine
the
with that, I didn't even fucking notice that.
okay, so the last issue we complained that like nothing really happens in the comic. There's a lot going on in this issue, which says
But
something
it
about
has
the
the
pacing of
opposite
this story.
effect.
Yeah.
It's like now on the north end, ooh, in the east sectors, in the south, and I'm like, why are you all splitting? I don't know what's going on. And there's so many yada 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 moments, like Deus Ex, like one of whoever's with Razorbeast when they're infiltrating the Ark, they're like, oh, I sent a drone up a while back to distract them.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, I guess. What? Distract who? Why? What? Why are some of you hiding in a cave?
Yep.
I'm not paying attention to these, by the way. Like I'm reading them like page to page, like week to week. Like we like Beast Wars. We're not just here to shit on it, but like No wonder I never heard of this. And it's a shame too, because like, man, the art.
Yeah, the art's great. Love it.
Oh fuck, it's real good. And but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the only thing so far.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Make jokes and post Cheetor gifs.
Yeah.
Which
And
there's a
that's-
lot more than there used to be a year ago, I must say.
There's a lot more, like, I remember when we first started the podcast a little over, or 2.5 years ago now. When we first started the podcast, there was like maybe like 5 Beast Wars gifts.
And you
Now
really
there-
had to hunt for them.
Now there are dozens of them.
Yeah. And not just like Transformers Beast gifts, specifically Beast Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe like Kingdom War for Cybertron.
I'm
Like-
gonna take credit for it.
It's us.
It's us. It's totally
Yeah.
us.
It's us. Specifically Too Much Energon.
Yeah. It's where we brought Beast Wars back into the public
And
consciousness.
Candace Santora.
Yeah.
It is us and Candace Santora's art.
Yeah.
Dedicated Beast Wars artist. And no one else.
Not even Gary.
No, not even Gary.
Anyway, that has been episode 104 of Too Much Energon. Best way to support the show, go to patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB, where you get lots of stuff at the single $5 Gary tier. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com.
Give a thanks to Gary.
Give a thanks to
to those gifts that are much more popular. Because we're to thank for it. It only makes sense that you help a brother out.
Right? Follow me on Twitter at Lasercomb, spelled the same way, LAZORCOMB, or you can follow the show proper at Too Much Energon, not spelled the same way, or you can follow Cal at
NeoKal, NEO_KAL.
We will be back next week with episode 105 of Too Much Energon, where we're going to be talking about The Gathering, issue 4, the final issue.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to be done with this.
Some people gotta die, some people got a chronal shift. If I don't get at least 1 weekend of Bernie's reference, I'm tossing the issue out. That's right. I'm right-clicking, hitting
Clicking
delete,
delete.
and then emptying my recycle bin right away.
And clearing your history so you can't find the URL to
Nope.
to re-download it.
I don't even want to know.
Until then, I've been the Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm NeoKal.
And until next week, Beast Mode.
Beast mode and trot out.
Beast Wars!